True kindness is not soft. True kindness is not always polite, and true kindness is rarely comfortable. We have been taught that kindness means smiling, agreeing, staying quiet, and keeping the peace. We think being kind means never upsetting anyone, never saying no, never challenging people, but that is not kindness. That is comfort disguised as goodness. Real kindness often feels heavy, it feels risky, it feels uncomfortable, because real kindness tells the truth. True kindness means saying what needs to be said, even when your voice shakes. It means correcting someone you love because you care too much to let them destroy themselves. It means setting boundaries even when people call you selfish for doing so. It means choosing honesty over approval. Comfortable kindness avoids conflict. Uncomfortable kindness creates growth. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is disappoint someone. Sometimes it's to walk away. Sometimes it's to say, this behavior is not okay, even when it costs you relationships, popularity, or praise, because silence in the face of harm is not kindness, it's fear. True kindness doesn't rescue people from consequences. It helps them become strong enough to face them. Think about it. Every meaningful growth in your life came from discomfort. Growth never came from being coddled. It came from being challenged, from being told the truth, from someone believing you were capable of more than your excuses. Kindness that avoids discomfort protects feelings. Kindness that embraces discomfort transforms lives. And here's the hardest part. True kindness often goes unnoticed. You won't always be thanked. You won't always be understood. Sometimes the very people you are trying to help will resent you. But kindness is not about being liked, it's about doing what is right. True kindness means standing firm when it would be easier to give in. It means loving people enough to let them be angry with you. It means choosing integrity over ease. So don't confuse comfort with compassion. Don't confuse silence with peace, and don't confuse people pleasing with love. If your kindness never costs you anything, ask yourself, is it really kindness or just fear of discomfort? Because true kindness challenges. True kindness stretches. True kindness is uncomfortable, and that discomfort, that's where real change begins. True kindness begins with truth, not comfort. Telling the truth is one of the hardest acts of kindness because it risks emotional reactions, rejection, and misunderstanding. It is far easier to stay silent, to agree, or to soften reality so no one feels uncomfortable. But when we hide the truth, we protect feelings at the cost of growth. Real kindness speaks honestly, not to hurt, but to help. It understands that temporary pain can prevent long-term damage. When you tell someone the truth, you are saying, I respect you enough to believe you can handle this. Lies and half-truths may feel gentle in the moment, but they quietly allow harmful patterns to continue. Truth disrupts comfort, but it also opens the door to change. Without truth, people remain stuck in illusions, repeating the same mistakes. Kindness that tells the truth requires courage, patience, and care. It chooses clarity over confusion and growth over approval. Even when your voice shakes, even when your heart races, speaking the truth with compassion is one of the most powerful gifts you can give another human being. Setting boundaries is another form of uncomfortable kindness. Many people believe kindness means always being available, always saying yes, and always sacrificing their own needs. But this kind of behavior often leads to resentment, exhaustion, and broken relationships. Boundaries are not walls meant to push people away. They are guidelines that protect respect, energy, and well-being. When you set a boundary, you are teaching others how to treat you and teaching yourself that your needs matter too. This can feel uncomfortable because people may resist change, especially if they benefited from your lack of boundaries before. They may accuse you of being selfish or cold, but boundaries are not punishment, they are protection. True kindness understands that healthy relationships require limits. By setting boundaries, you create space for honesty, mutual respect, and genuine connection. You are not abandoning kindness, you are practicing it in a way that sustains rather than drains you. There is a major difference between avoiding conflict and creating growth. Comfortable kindness avoids difficult conversations because conflict feels stressful and risky. It chooses peace on the surface, even if problems continue underneath. Uncomfortable kindness, however, understands that growth often requires friction. It steps into difficult conversations with the intention to improve, not to win. Conflict handled with respect can clarify expectations, repair misunderstandings, and strengthen relationships. Avoiding conflict may feel kind in the moment, but it often leads to frustration, resentment, and emotional distance over time. Growth demands honesty, accountability, and sometimes disagreement. When you choose growth over comfort, you are saying that the relationship matters enough to be real. True kindness is not about keeping everything calm. It is about helping people become better versions of themselves, even if the process feels uncomfortable at first. One of the hardest truths about real kindness is that it is often misunderstood. People may not immediately recognize your intentions. They may feel hurt, judged, or challenged. In those moments, kindness does not come with applause or gratitude. Instead, it comes with criticism, silence, or rejection. But kindness is not measured by how quickly it is appreciated. It is measured by whether it is rooted in integrity and care. If you base your actions solely on being liked, you will avoid saying and doing the things that matter most. True kindness accepts the risk of being disliked because it prioritizes long-term well-being over short-term approval. It stays grounded in values, not reactions. Being misunderstood is painful, but compromising your integrity is far more damaging. Kindness that stands firm, even when misunderstood, quietly builds strength and trust over time. True kindness also understands the importance of consequences. Protecting people from every consequence may feel compassionate, but it often prevents learning and growth. When people are shielded from the results of their actions, they lose the opportunity to develop responsibility, resilience, and self-awareness. Real kindness does not enable destructive behavior. It allows people to experience reality while offering support, guidance, and belief in their ability to change. This kind of kindness is uncomfortable because it resists the urge to rescue. It requires patience and trust in the other person's strength. Helping someone grow is not about making life easier. It is about helping them become capable. Consequences are not cruelty, they are teachers. Kindness walks alongside someone as they learn, rather than carrying them so they never learn to stand on their own. At its core, uncomfortable kindness is an act of courage. Fear-based behavior seeks safety, approval, and avoidance. Courage-based kindness chooses honesty, responsibility, and integrity, even when the outcome is uncertain. It takes courage to speak up, to set boundaries, to allow consequences, and to risk misunderstanding. But courage is what gives kindness its power. Without courage, kindness becomes passive and shallow. With courage, it becomes transformative. This kind of kindness shapes character, builds trust, and creates meaningful change. It is not loud or dramatic, but it is deeply impactful. When you choose courageous kindness, you align your actions with your values. You become someone who does not just make people feel good temporarily, but helps them grow in ways that last. That is the discomfort worth embracing.